Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. Today I want to ask who and what are creating your happiness? Now, this is an important question because when we are feeling happy because of what's happening outside of us, meaning when our children are doing what we want them to do, when we're at the job we want to be, or we're making the money we want to make, or things are working in our favor, right? We have the right relationships, the right connections, and so forth, and we feel happy, right? Then that means that our happiness is contingent upon these things. And happiness, true happiness, is an inside job because the external stuff can change at any time, right? What are we going to do when our children act up? What are we going to do when the business closes down and now we have to look for another job? What are we going to do when we get a new boss who's running things very differently and we're feeling really uncomfortable in their presence, right? What are we going to do? All of a sudden, it's like, okay, we're no longer happy because we have this element, this situation, and our happiness is interrupted. So that means that that happiness is contingent on something outside of us, and it can be taken away from us. That's not true happiness. Lasting happiness, like I said, comes from within. And in order to be able to connect with the happiness that comes from within, right, we practice gratitude, which I've mentioned in the past, but we also want to connect with our heart's desire, because when we connect with our heart's desire, we're that much more closer to connecting with our soul's desire. And sometimes our heart's desire isn't so clear at first, but as we continue to really sit with that, connect with it, then we are clearer on what our soul truly wants, which is what we're most afraid of sometimes, right? It's like our soul wants to do this, but our mind is saying, well, I can't. I don't have the right resources, the right connections, and whatever else, right? All these excuses come up. Reasons, when I say excuses, of why we can't do it, but really what's stopping us is fear. Fear is interrupting, right? Our ability to be able to feel that strength and that courage to be able to follow through with what is it that we really want to do, or to even contemplate what is it that my heart really desires, that my soul really wants to express in this moment in time. It gets really scary sometimes, and we're uncomfortable with feeling scared, so then we pull back. But we're not serving ourselves, right? By feeding into the fear and allowing the fear to continue running the show and to continue to just hide from our soul, from our heart's desire, which is, like I said, not bringing us closer to what we really truly want from within. And it's holding us back from creating that lasting happiness, right, that comes from that freedom from when we are doing what we want to do and not holding ourselves back and not allowing the obstacles that are appearing in front of us to be like, like the ultimately determining reason why we don't do it, like hanging on that as the reason why, and really looking at it, right? Like sitting with that fear, because if we don't, it will continue to run the show. And ultimately, no one prospers. In other words, we don't, the people around us don't, and the people that we could serve when we dare to step out of our comfort zone don't benefit either, right? Because we've held ourselves back, and so then we don't show up the way, our soul is calling us to do. So happiness, right? Where it's coming from, it matters. And we want it to be based on something solid that's not so easily disrupted, right? And it's not changeable by the external circumstances. Like I said, right, when our kids aren't listening, if we have kids, or whoever isn't listening, or whoever isn't doing the right thing and is upsetting us and frustrating us, right? What then? Now we have a bad day. Is that really what we want for ourselves? Probably not. We really want to feel good, right? In general, we want to feel good, but there's something that we're doing and we're thinking that it's something outside that's causing it, but it's something that we're doing, right? It's something that we're blocking because of our fears. And connecting with our fears sometimes can feel overwhelming because the vulnerability is not something that we're feeling like, yeah, let's go towards, right? Because it's very, very uncomfortable. And our psyche is going to try and protect us. In other words, the moment we feel uncomfortable, it's like instant. Oh, let me pull back. I don't like the way I'm feeling. But it's not really serving us, right? That protector isn't really serving us. It's blocking us, it's holding us back. So we want to tell ourselves it's okay to sit with this. It's okay to feel it. I can transmute it. It's safe. And at least if we're not able to do that right off the bat, to work our way up to being able to tolerate the vulnerability and the uncomfortability of sitting with the fear, of being able to explore the fear, so that our protectors aren't coming in to save us, sort of save us, but are basically holding us back. And then we don't get to live the life that we want to live, or do the things that we want to do, or follow what we know we truly ultimately want. And it just, like I said, doesn't feel good, right? We ultimately really want to experience some sense of happiness, and it is something that we can create for ourselves. Anyway, before I move in further, and before I end, I want to pick a word from my bag of words and see what comes up and what further information I want to share. Ooh, confidence. Okay, so confidence. Now this is important, right? Confidence is something that is also blocked by fear, so that when we're feeling fear, we're not going to feel so confident. And this is part of the illusion as well. You know, it's like part of that like Jedi mind trick of, well, I can't do it because of this, or, you know, with the confidence, I can't do it because, you know, I'm not smart enough, tall enough, I don't know, rich enough, or whatever enough. And it's not 100% true. The confidence is really being blocked because of the fear that taking space in your consciousness. And so that's why it's really important to look at some of that stuff and not just let it hang around, because when it hangs around, it runs the show, and then we hold ourselves back from experiencing that happiness that we really want to experience. So looking at who and what is how who and what are creating our happiness is really what we want to take a look at, so that we can turn things around for ourselves and not stay stuck. All right, bye for now. I hope that helps and that you have a beautiful day.